If you haven't checked out Model 72 synthesizer system, go check it out. Go demo it. At the bottom of the product page, I have a walkthrough with some additional features because there's so much to cover. There's no possible way we could cover it all today. Yeah, it is a keyboard product. It's made to be used with a MIDI controller. You could play it live. You could sequence it. But for today's examples, I'm going to use some pre-recorded MIDI parts just to do some demoing. I want to show you how cool some of the sound design you could do with Model 72 is. Okay, so right off the bat, you're probably going, it doesn't sound so cool, but check it out. We modeled the glide. Listen to how awesome this sounds as we bring it up. We've got the ability to set glide there. We have the ability on our oscillators to set the range. Do we want it to play in a lower octave, a higher octave? And we have tons of different amazing sounding waveforms. I'll just flip through a few right now. You could do so much more with this too. There's a mod wheel at the bottom, and the mod wheel controls this entire modulation section. So for instance, I could do something like set a tremolo. So I could have my modulation mix, go to an LFO, and I could set the LFO to a square, and let's just bring this up. Oh, we got to turn on our oscillator modulation so that this controls our oscillator. So I'm still playing that same part that I had before. It's just that long sustained note, but now you could hear that we've got this trill going on. I know I said tremolo, I meant trill. As we bring the mod wheel up, we get a wider interval. And you could control that LFO rate right here. So if you want it super fast, like a super fast trill, you could do that. That's a little extreme. And if you want it to be more of like a vibrato, you could actually keep a really low modulation and adjust the LFO rate. So if I turn on oscillator 2 and oscillator 3, we could see that oscillator 2 is pitched down 7 semitones or a fifth, and oscillator 3 is pitched up 7 semitones. Which is what gives that cool chord. Even though this is a monophonic synth, right? We could set each oscillator to different notes and make it have a polyphonic feel. Let me go into my preset collection. I'll open up, which one did I even have? I think I had this gritty chord. That's it, cool. So we're gonna turn off that oscillator modulation that I had going on. We're gonna open up the cutoff, get us back to where we were. And let's talk a little bit about what we could do with our oscillators. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them all in the same range. And let's tune them so that they're all pretty much the same pitch. And I'm gonna turn off oscillator 1, so I just listen to 2 and 3. Cool, that's a nice sound. That's even nicer for what I'm going for. So one of the things I like to do with having the 3 different oscillators is make it a monophonic synth, just one note, but slightly detune oscillator 2 and oscillator 3, have one slightly down, one slightly up. It gets this frequency modulation type of sound. It's a little different, but check this out. So if I detune them, and you get that wobble in there, which is just really awesome, especially for EDM and lots of other things. Let me turn up the volume a bit here. There we go. Super deep, rich analog tone. Let's add oscillator 1 back in. I could even pitch oscillator 1 down the octave. And you could hear how cool and wide of a sound you could get instantly. We've modeled the feedback volume, and be careful with this feedback volume because it works exactly like the original hardware, which means it could self-oscillate, it overdrives and goes crazy. So use it gradually. Check this out. And if I bring my master volume down, we could really start to push it. Super awesome. Let's turn off that feedback. We'll turn off all of our oscillators. Let's bring in some noise. So we have white noise. It's noise. And we have pink noise. And why are we listening to noise? Well, noise could do a lot. We can make percussive sounds with noise. We can have it appear at the beginning of a note to add a little bit of attack, add a little bit of grit. But let's explore our filter with this, and then I want to move on to some of the other benefits of Model 72 synthesizer system. So listen to our noise as we use the filter cutoff. I'm going to turn my resonance all the way off too. Let's listen to it with pink noise. Let's add some resonance to this filter. You could really hear the filter start to sing as we add that resonance. Listen to it with white noise. And if we open up that resonance even more, and with pink noise, so what the heck does this mean for music making? Because we're listening to noise. And well, let's turn our oscillators back on. I'll even turn that feedback back on. And let's listen to how the cutoff affects our sound. I'm going to turn my volume down a bit. And I'm kind of over this little loop I've put in there. That was really just for a quick demo. Let's listen to this one. So you could instantly hear how this filter contributes to the incredible sound quality when combined with the noise, the feedback, obviously the modulation section. We took a look at the oscillators, everything. One of the greatest things, this doubling switch over here. Check this out. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again. So the doubling switch makes it feel like there's more than one Model 72 playing at once. It's awesome. And this spread underneath helps to give a stereo spread to the sound. Check this out. And you can see I started playing around with the amp envelope. There is a ton here. We could spend hours and hours just playing with the Model 72 instrument.